I'm Barb, Meeple PhD, and I have finally ranked all of the games in my collection, and a few others, to come up with my top 50 games of all time. Of course, this is just a snapshot of how I feel about these games right now, and it could change at almost any moment. But without further ado, let's get started with the first 10 of my top 50 games. Number 50 is Res Arcana. This is a game where you have this tiny deck of cards and you are collecting stuff in order to play those cards out and then activate those cards to get more of that stuff, to get more cards, to purchase these special monuments and places of power, all in pursuit of getting points. Is there a theme here? Yes. Does it matter? No. For me, this is all about the mechanisms of how to make the most of the tiny deck that you have and try and get the, requisite number of points to win the game before your opponents. So for those reasons, Res Arcana is my number 50. My number 49 is Witchstone. This is a game where you are building out a witch's brew using these double tiles that have two symbols on them. As you play them out into your pot, you will activate the two different symbols that are on that tile. But if they connect to a region of the same symbol, it increases the power of that ability that you're taking. And so throughout the game, you're doing a number of different things. You're adding witches to this map. You are getting power in your wand, I guess. You're making these potions. Whatever it is, it's completely themeless, but there's a lot of different things that you're doing on the board. And I love this mechanism where you're, playing out a tile and deciding where it goes in order to kind of maximize how many of the same symbol that you have together in order to get better and better actions throughout the game. So for those reasons, Witchstone is my number 49. Number 48 is Gingerbread House. This is a game where I first looked at it and saw that you were building up on this little 3x3 grid and wondered how much game could there be in this? Well, I was pleasantly surprised. In this game, you are building up a gingerbread house using domino-type tiles to build out this 3x3 grid. As you're putting a tile down, you will get something based on what it covers. And so mostly you're getting different colors of cookies. You might get a staircase or a wild cookie, so you can get anything. But ultimately what you're trying to do is to attract different storybook characters and entrap them in your dungeon, luring them with the cookies. So this game, it's super clean, very, very quick. I love how, you're building up your house and trying to figure out how to maximize what you're getting out of each tile placement, because if you cover two of the same symbol, you actually get 3 of those things instead of 2. And so throughout the game, you're just trying to, maximize each tile that you place. And the art is super cute, it's something I love. And the theme, I love baking. So all of this just came together for me as a super fun game. So that's why Gingerbread House is my number 48. My number 47 is Everdell. This is a game where you are building out a tableau in front of yourself that represents a little town for your little critters. You are, going to different locations on the board to get resources and then using those resources in order to play your cards. Various things activate during the different seasons. But what I really love is the different pace of this game. When you first start the game and you have 2 workers and a handful of cards, and the game says you can have, I think, a max of 15 cards in your city, and you're looking at this thinking, I am never going to get enough stuff to get 15 cards out into my city. But the game builds as you go. You get additional workers and your cards give you additional things. And you can get cards for free if you have, the right character to go with the right building. So, as you're going and by the end of the game, you're agonizing over which last few cards to put in your town because now you have more than 15 that you might want to get out there. And so for me, again, super cute art. I love art in game. It will always draw me in, but I am, staying for the gameplay and all of those fun and agonizing decisions as you go. So for those reasons, Everdell is my number 47. Number 46 is Fantastic Factories. This is a game where you are rolling dice in order to use them to get various things. You are building up these cards that have different pieces of a factory, I guess. Some of them have places where you can place your dice to get points or the resources in the game to pay for more cards. You have your own player board that you can always use your dice on to get more cards, to get more steel or energy, which lets you buy additional cards. But at the beginning of the round, you also get either a new card into your hand or you can hire a worker in order to give you a special ability for that round. In addition to all of that, one thing I love is that, your hand of cards is so important because if you want to play a card out into your tableau, you have to pay a card of the same type. And often you'll have these two cards and you want both of them because they're both amazing. And you have to make that decision of, do I kind of hold on to both of these till I can get more cards to discard in order to play them? But then maybe those new cards are ones that I'm also going to want to play. And at some point you just have to make the decision to sacrifice one of them and move on. And for all of those reasons, Fantastic Factories is my number 46. My number 45 is probably a lesser known game called The Great Dinosaur Rush. In this game, players are taking on the role of paleontologists during the time of the Great Dinosaur Rush. And it is played over several rounds, and each round you have a couple of phases. The first part of the round, you are out gathering new bones for your research. And then you are gonna publish some things that will either make some aspects of dinosaurs more or less valuable for the last phase of the round where you are using your bones in order to build some kind of dinosaur. You have to use all of your bones, and we always come up with the most ridiculous dinosaurs that you can imagine. This game always brings a lot of laughter to the table, and I just love how, when everyone reveals their dinosaur creations, we look around the table and have a good laugh. So for all of those reasons, The Great Dinosaur Rush is my number 45. Number 44 is Imperial Miners. This is a game that's in the Imperial Settlers universe, but plays completely differently from those games. In this game, you are building a mine. Each round, and there are 10 of them, you are going to place a new card into your mine. And you are going to activate that card and then make a path upward to the top level. So at the beginning of the game, you're probably just playing level 1 cards and you're not doing very much. But by the end, you can play some level 3 or 4 cards and you're making this path and doing 3 or 4 actions, and the game builds over time. Ultimately, you're trying to make points. You can earn some money, but that only helps you with your cards. Money can also buy points, but only in certain ways. So I love how this game builds over time. And the art is so cute. Every time I play, I see a new little detail on one of the cards that just delights me. So for those reasons, Imperial Miners is my number 44. Number 43 is The Magnificent. This is a game where you are putting on a circus, and you're going to do this by using dice to activate different actions. This can include putting out different structures into your circus itself, attracting different major acts to your circus, putting on the circus itself, or moving your wagon around in order to get some resources. This is a game that hasn't come out super often because there are a lot of interconnected things about it that we have to remember every time. But when we do take it out everything ultimately clicks. And I love the theme of the game. I love all of the different pieces. You're using dice to activate these different actions. You're going to have to pay your workers, of course, at the end of the game, but it's based on the color of dice that you have the most pips of. And so you're always agonizing over, do I grab another die of the same color because that's going to increase the strength of that action? Or do I take a different color because I don't have enough money, or I'm worried I'll have enough money to pay for those additional pips by the end of the round? So it has some great decisions in it, and I just really enjoy it. So that is why the Magnificent is my number 43. Number 42 is Dominion, and one of the few games on this list that I don't actually own. A friend owns it with a whole bunch of the expansions. At its heart, this is just a deck building game, and I enjoy always looking at the different cards that are available. You'll only have 10 of hundreds of cards at this point that are available each game, and looking at them and figuring out how they work together. More often than not, I am just buying cards to try new things rather than having any actual strategy, but that's fine because we're just having fun. It's a game. So for those reasons, Dominion is my number 42. And rounding out this first 10 of my top 50 games is number 41, Near and Far. This is a game that combines storytelling with worker placement mechanism and adventuring on a board. This is a game that I have played now countless times. This has different campaigns that you can play with it, or a kind of an arcade mode where you can play one-off games. In it, you are going to be sending your player, your character, into town to kind of prepare yourself to go out into the wilds and do various things, which could just be getting gems and coins, or it could be interacting with a story of some sort. And I'm always in it for the story. I have played through at least 2 character campaigns and at least 2 map campaigns. This may not come to the table a lot currently because we did play it so much, and we've kind of gotten Now or Never to the table and some of other Ryan Laukatt's other games. But this one, it has a near and dear place to my heart because the story is what makes it for me. So for those reasons, Near and Far is my number 41. So, is there any games on this list that you absolutely love and you think I should have ranked higher? Or maybe some that should be even lower on my list and maybe not even have made my top 50? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be releasing the rest of my top 50 over time, so be sure to like and subscribe to my channel so you know when that comes out. And in the meantime, you can follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky as MeeplePhD, and I have a blog at meeplephd.com. We'll see you next time.